I'm probably the only person in this country who's actually been, or maybe in the world, to actually be legally banned from working for naming a molester. I don't know if anybody else in this world has gone through. I'm not saying that shadow bans don't exist.
That's deep.
Nobody else, the women have undergone shadow bans left, right and center. அவ சொல்லிட்டால அவளை சாவடி. Even in politics, there were women, powerful women in politics who said, whatever you women have achieved in these 10 days, அப்போ அக்டோபர் நவம்பர்ல அவங்க மீட் பண்ணும்போது, we have not been able to achieve in our entire lives. எலெக்ஷன் இதுக்கெல்லாம் போகும்போது, கேம்பெயினிங்கெல்லாம் போகும்போது, த்ரூ அவுட் த நைட் எங்களை சாவடிப்பானுங்க, டோர்ல வந்து அடிச்சுக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. நாங்க வந்து மேல இருக்கிற எங்க லீடர்கிட்ட போய் சொன்னா, the leader will actually remove these guys, but these men will come and make our lives miserable because the circle is the same. They will say that we cannot sit here, we cannot do this, we cannot. ஒரு அளவுக்கு மேல we had to just grit our teeth, grin and as much as possible avoid it and not have any more confrontations.
And it has not changed anything.
No. There are still no ICCs in the industry, despite the fact that so many people from the industry have moved into politics. Ask any of them the question, they will not put systems in place for that.
This is not about the industry alone, right? This is just even across the board.
Across the board. How many schools have a proper POSH or a POXO unit? இத்தனை ரியாலிட்டி ஷோஸ் வித் சில்ட்ரன் பாக்குறோமே, அங்க பாக்ஸோ யூனிட் இருக்கான்னு கேளுங்க. I have asked. இத்தனை குழந்தைங்களை கொண்டு வந்தீங்க, பாக்ஸோ யூனிட் இருக்கா?
Tell us more about the POXO unit thing.
So POXO is this prevention of child sexual offences. So it basically mandates that there has to be a basic level of training for prevention of sexual harassment when you employ children. Technically it is an employment. It is child labor. Just jolly abdi nicely sugar coated abdi bow எல்லாம் டைப் பண்ணி மேக்கப்லாம் போட்டு அரிதாரல புசி அப்படினு. So it's content with children where you have brought in children in a space where there will be an unbelievable power dynamic, not just as an adult but also as a person of power. When you have molesters as judges in these spaces, it is a horrendous space. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஷோல one child told me, the parents also spoke about one of the molesters named, saying that he had digitally raped her. Basically he inserted his finger into the vagina. The child was 8 at that time. And she didn't want to go back to the show. The parents thought she was just a child doing tantrums. இல்ல கண்ணா, நம்ம வந்து பண்றோம்னா நம்ம கொடுத்த வார்த்தையை பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த ஷோ she continued. She was not able to explain what it was because this awareness was not there. இப்போ good touch, bad touch, see shout, tell, see என்ன say, go, tell, அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் நிறைய ட்ரைனிங் இது வந்திருக்கு. But what existed 20 years ago, 15 years ago?
My wife used to say that, thank God we have 2 boys. Is that
No. You are equally at, if not more vulnerable. I have probably been, even before the Me Too movement broke out, I have been speaking about the fact that boys are more vulnerable. You guys don't understand it with all of your really crass, lowly cerebral, absence of cerebral homophobic jokes. It is not funny and you don't understand that boys are a lot more at risk. Girls have a safe space to report even within our own girls space. நாங்க ஏதான கொட்டியாவது தீக்கலாம். But a man going and report sexual harassment means நீ அவனா, அதுதான் ஜோக் இல்ல. That is the so called, அப்புறம் அதுக்கு ஒரு நம்பர் எல்லாம் வர அட்டாச் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. I remember, it is still there on my Instagram page. There was a 35-year-old man who reported that he and his friends went out on a trip and they all came and crashed at his house. Some 5-6 guys, colleagues. And he felt that he was being molested when he was asleep by his male colleague. And apparently he froze, he pretended to sleep, something that all women do as a response so that, okay, this thing will be over, our bodies will clench and we'll pretend to sleep until the ordeal is over. So that இது எங்களோட ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ். முக்காவாசி பெண்களுக்கு இதுதான் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ். எல்லா பெண்களுக்கும் நான் இது சொல்றது புரியும். அப்பனா இது நீ வந்து என்ன ஆர் யூ என்ஜாயிங் இட்னு ஏதான ஒரு 4 தற்குறி வந்து கேட்கும். ஆனா அது கேட்டுட்டு போட்டோம். They don't understand the stress response to, especially for a stress response, there is a fright, there is a freeze, but there is also a fawn. They don't understand there is a fawn response to stress, where you go on praising your abuser thinking that this will take me out of my ordeal. என்ன அடிக்கிறவன் வந்து இந்த ஒன்ன மாதிரி ஒரு கடவுள் உண்டா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி
they'll come back
to the
same thing again.
Not realizing this is not, and adukku nariya childhood trauma could be a response to that. There is a lot of, when you read about all of this, and when I correlate with what I have gone through, why did I have a fawn response or a freeze response to my abuser, and how do I,
it's because when domestic abuse இருக்கு பாருங்க, parents relationship வந்து impaired இருந்துச்சுன்னா you will be affecting the child's.
Absolutely. இது எல்லாமே, when I look back at my own life and my own responses to a lot of stressful situations, but then I am different now. But that was thankfully because I was lucky to find a partner and a marital family, and a mother-in-law was a rock star. அப்படின்னு கேட்க பாவியா